This is a story about my DJI Mini and how I sank it to the bottom of the Great Salt Lake and brought it back to life. But let's start at the beginning. I started seeing other YouTubers getting amazing aerial footage using drones. So I did a little research and I hopped on Amazon and I ordered my drone. And following suit, I did what every proud drone parent would do, and I did a painfully boring unboxing video. But if you want to see that, you can find it on someone else's channel. As soon as the batteries were charged, I called my friend Craig up and we took it to the park for our first flight. We both got about 20 minutes of practice in before we thought we were expert enough to fly it over the lake and creep on these poor kayakers. And everything was going fine until the drone decided to lose Wi-Fi connection. But luckily, its return to home feature landed it nice and softly in the sand, which is terrible for your motors. So after that close call, we packed up the drone and we headed home. Fast forward 2 weeks and I decide to hit the road with these three hooligans as we head north to the Cascade Mountain Range to hike the Snow Lake Trails, which is 12 miles long and has an elevation gain of 6,500 feet. We traveled up the hill, traversing treacherous rocks, crawling out of luscious green valleys, wading through cascading waterfalls, avoiding beasts of the forest, and all while carrying 40 pounds of survival tools on our back to arrive at our final camping destination. And all I wanted to do was fly my drone. And my friend who planned the trip turned to me and said, "I don't think you can fly drones at the national park." At first I was pretty upset because I had just carried this drone all the way up the mountain with me and I couldn't fly it, and it was absolutely beautiful there. So I looked up the reasons why you're not allowed to fly drones in certain areas. I had thought that the National Park Service was just trying to hoard all the great footage, but it turns out that a lot of people will fly their drones into wildlife and harm the wildlife, and the main reason they don't want you flying your drones is because a lot of people lose their mind and go chasing after their drones, and instead of rescuing their drones, they end up either hurt or needing to be rescued themselves. So that's the real reason they don't let you fly drones in national parks. So after reading that, I respectfully put the drone away for a few days. But 4 days in the wilderness will change a man, and after running into a few friendly rangers and promising my friend I would not go looking for my drone if I lost it, we took it for its first flight. And over the water again, of course. And you can see the level of our skill by our smooth panning shots. After getting a few quick shots of our campsite, we put it away and we didn't think about it again until 1 week later, and I'm back in the car with these crazy kids. And we're back on the road again. This time, our plan is to travel from Seattle, Washington to Estes Park, Colorado, to quarantine ourselves away for a week in our friend's family cabin. With 10 hours of driving ahead of us, we were eager to leave the city and head for Twin Falls. So we packed a few things and I threw the drone in the car and we hit the road to sit in traffic. And then a quick pit stop and now hit the road. As we headed towards Twin Falls, we traveled across barren plains and fertile farmland, and over glistening rivers, and through hills and valleys. We even saw this super long truck. And avoided an accident. With traffic and delays and night quickly approaching, we decided to head to our hotel and get a few hours of sleep. Day 2. Not covering as much road as we would have liked, and with very little sleep, we set off on the second leg of our journey. More deserts and more luscious farmland. followed by some beautiful Rocky Mountains. We then made a quick stop into town, stretched our legs a little bit, and grabbed a bite to eat. Look at all the great food we got. So we hit the road to continue our trip through Wyoming. It was mesmerizing seeing the clouds speckle the sky and the wind turbines cut through the air. We traveled through white sand dunes and saw some new cool rock formations. Wow, look at the size of that cloud. Hey, a cute little rainbow. Oh, look, it started to rain. Oh, it's raining harder now. Oh dear, that's hail. Wow, I think this is the worst of it. Whew, we've made it to Colorado. And Colorado was beautiful. The trees, the red rock cliffs, the beautiful blue skies, which was an extreme contrast to what we had just left in Wyoming. With only a few hours left until we made it to the cabin, we decided to stop at a grocery store for some supplies. Then we hit the road again. On the way up to the cabin, our friend's aunt called us and told us that there was a small moth problem. Exhausted from driving, we traveled up the hill to see what waited for us inside the cabin.
See them?
That's a lot.
One hit me. Sorry.
This is going to be a whole new adventure.
Holy he's not kidding. There's so many in there. Oh. Okay. Alright.
There's not that many.
Oh no!
Stay away from the light.
No!
It looks like we're catching a lot of moths tonight.
Small moth problem.
You still hey now. Oh my god.
Round one, fight.
They just do these.
It just makes them fly more. Doesn't do anything.
Round two, fight. Final round, fight.
I did. Oh, got him.
All right, back to the drone. Sorry, I got a little caught up in the story. So it was here at Estes Park where we got most of our flying in. I would say we flew the drone about 5 times, and here's the best footage that we got from our flights. After leaving Moab, I did some research and I found that I could get a permit to fly my drone over the Great Salt Lake, which was great news because this was the first place I could actually legally fly my drone. And then this happened.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
I wanna sink to the bottom with you. I wanna sink to the bottom with you. The ocean is big and blue. I just wanna sink to the bottom with you. 'Cause on the highway, waves in the air, everyone else is going somewhere, but I'm going nowhere, getting there soon. I might as well just sit down with you.
As soon as I saw that happen, I raced towards the water, dove in, and swam out to save my drone. But remember what I told you about people not thinking when they went to rescue their drone? I did exactly that. If I had stopped to think a second, I would have remembered from science class that in salty water things become more buoyant, which means they float. So instead of looking like this Olympic diver, I looked more like this duck unable to reach the bottom. As soon as I got it out of the water, I rushed over to the shower station and I rinsed it out with fresh water for about 15 minutes. I rinsed out all the sand and dirt that had gotten in the battery compartment and inside the fuselage. Next, we went to the closest auto parts store and we picked up some wire dryer. And then we went back to the hotel, took the top and the bottom apart, and then I sprayed it out with the wire dryer, again for about 10 to 15 minutes. Once I had done that, there was nothing left to do, so I packed all the parts for the drone up and I put it away and took it home. When I got home, I took it out of the case and I put it on my shelf to let it dry there for a month. After a month of dreading that the drone wouldn't start, I finally gave it a shot. Okay, and I have the bottom plate off, so this is button I'm going to need to push, so you can push it down once. Ooh, lights are good. Lights are good. Oh, that's... all things are good. Huh. Well, that's surprising. It's giving me a red light, green light. I have the green light. That's good. Let's see if we can fire up the engine. So, ooh, it does work. She's alive. That's good. Oh, yay. Great. Oh, motor stopped. I wonder if that's because I don't have the propellers on it. And that was exactly the problem. So I put the propellers back on and the body back together and I took it outside. Alright, so I think we're ready to take it on its first flight. I put it all back together. It's kind of a journey. See if it turns on. Turns on. It's good. Gimbal's doing its thing. Looking for center. Alright, see, it's probably gonna make me do GPS when I connect the craft. I don't know if you can see it, but let me bring this up. Because I can't do anything, right? Probably won't be able to see my screen. It's too bright outside. It's all the way bright. Alright, anyways. I just want to see it to see if the gimbal still works.
The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
Home point has been updated. Huh. It works. Okay, let's start it. Oh my god.
Take off. The home point has been updated.
Holy shit, it works. Can't believe it works. That is crazy. I put it in the water and it works. That is pretty amazing. Gimbal works. I'll let you to land, please. Huh. Well, it works. Pretty neat. So, you can sink your drone and bring it back to life. I don't know how long it's going to last or what the longevity of it is, but it works. So, cool.